Okay, guys, we are here today with Rick Lundell. Huge honor for us. He invented the movement 1% better every day. Has even a book. And so he's going to explain to us a little more about what's this. And he made something very cool. He made a 500-day challenge where he would try to do 1% better every day. And the challenge was all about squat, right, Rick?
That's right. It was all about squatting. It was about making sure that I improved in some type of squat every single day. And it didn't necessarily have to be the number, you know. Sometimes it's just the flexibility. It could be your depth. It could be just getting to the gym, you know, just getting out into my garage to get out here to do the lift, or, you know, it could be anything. I mean, whatever you could improve upon, that's what the goal was. And it's all about giving 100% effort. You get 1% better every single day if you give 100% effort. Now, this 500-day challenge, I'll tell you a little bit about it. I squatted every day for 500 days in a row. We video documented it. And everybody said, you can't do this. And, you know, I had talked to this man, John Bros, and he had trained in Bulgaria. And I'd showed up at his gym, and we had discussed, you know, this methodology of, you know, you could lift every single day. These guys lift every day. Uh-huh. I'm like, that's not what they say in America. You know, I've been around for a while. They say no, and I tried every type of periodization training. I was very successful with it. Uh-huh. Nowhere near the numbers that I gained by doing this every single day. When you do something every single day, your numbers, they fluctuate, they go up and down. But what ends up really happening is you get into different parts of where you might be weak. So not just physical.
I got it.
Mental. Yeah. And then sometimes, man, all you got is negative thoughts going on. And then all you got is your body just so sore. And then now you start to get into this kind of like finding your own willpower and your own spirit. And you have to overcome your emotions, and you have to overcome your soreness. And when you can do that, by doing just 1% better every single day, you're ready every single day to do anything you want to do. You don't want to just be a black belt on Monday, and then you got to wait until Thursday to be a black belt again, right? We're black belts every day. Yep. And the 1% better movement, it's a way for you and everyone to find a way to improve no matter what's going on. And for me, guys, it was a big stage in my life. During this 500-day challenge, I got divorced. My younger brother, who was my training partner as a kid, he grew up with me. It was like I raised him. He died. He had an opioid overdose. It was right before it. I got it. And I was in such a place, guys, that I was like, man, how am I gonna dig myself out of here? You know, I'm doing well. I'm working hard. How am I gonna go from where I just feel just so sad and so terrible? How am I gonna step out into the world and do something today? And you know, it was getting 1% better. And I knew I could do at least that much. And so I took on a new project of squatting every day, and then it just exploded. And this movement has just exploded. I mean, it's everywhere. World champions are talking about it everywhere. I mean, I saw The Rock tweeted it. I mean, people out there are talking about just get 1% better every day. It's a movement. It's exciting. And it's spreading to everybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. You can get 1% better today, no matter what.
I agree. No, I love it. No, and guys, I think what's very interesting is the consistency that when you're in this movement, you become very consistent, right? Because you want to do 1% better every day. So you're going to work out every day.
Every day. So, every day. You want to get better at jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
1%. What's something that you can do today to get better? Just find something. And you know, it doesn't have to be the number. I can't express that enough because there's too many variables in the human life to quantify with just a pound or a kilo. There's flexibility. There's the ability to control your own mind. There's the concept to just step back out there after you've failed. If you've ever failed and then gone, man, I don't think I can keep going, to say, you know what, I'm going to take a step forward today. I'm going to try again. And when you do that and you work to get 1% better every day, you're constantly living in the unknown. Always. Because you've never been there before. You've never been that good before. And if you're constantly living in the unknown, it's a really beautiful thing, guys, because you're always finding out new things that you're capable of doing.
I agree.
You know, you don't have to rest on your past accolades, because that's not who we are. That's an expression of things that we've accomplished, but that's not who we are. We're looking all the time to improve. And this can do that for you. Squatting, yes, it will help your combat. It will help your jiu-jitsu. It will help your willpower. There's things inside of here that I learned through squatting that I couldn't have learned any other way. Only here. I didn't learn it collegiate wrestling. I didn't learn it in the jiu-jitsu room. I had to learn it with the bar. And it'll benefit everybody's life. But you can do 1% better in your family life, in your jiu-jitsu life, in your friends, in anything.
Yeah, and guys, it's very impressive like how quick he becomes good on things. So for example, Rick is probably the youngest American to get a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He got his black belt, he was 19 years old, from Pedro Sauer. And he started this movement was like 2016, right?
Yeah, 2000, right at the beginning of 2016.
So guys, he started squatting in 2016, and 2 years later, he was breaking the record of the state of Nevada with how many pounds you did?
So the state of Nevada record, if you look it up online, it's 510 pounds, and I was able to do 615 pounds. And
that's impressive.
It is, and it was so amazing because it was outside of the box. I mean, it was what everybody said you can't do. And everybody said, yeah, you can't lift every day. You have to recover. Haven't you heard of overtraining? And it was strange because there was no overtraining. There was improvement. There was getting 1% better at something else. I can't overtrain because I'm working on something else. You can't go past a certain point. So you're not gonna work to where you get injured. You're not gonna work until that spot. You're always just gonna work on areas that you can improve on. And man, when you do that, it compounds. And it's like compound interest. And weird stuff starts happening before you know it. You're sitting here with a couple black belts and some cameras, and you got a book, and you're lifting hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and the world's listening to you on a movement, and you're changing people's lives. It's amazing.
No, I agree.
You just gotta live it though. It's a campaign. It's not a daily. It's not just tomorrow. We're gonna do it tomorrow. This is a campaign.
So a couple things I've noticed that I've been so impressed with is that, one, you're such a real guy. You proudly talk about your failures. So when I first heard about this, I started trying it myself and said, wow, this isn't working. I'm not lifting 1% more every single day. And you said, no, that's not it. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the wild swings and fluctuations you might have?
Yeah, definitely. That I would have fluctuations where I would one day, when I started this, I was doing like 275 pounds. I slowly kept working my way up. I'd get up to like 350 pounds. All of a sudden I could only squat the bar. Maybe not even the bar. I mean, literally a PVC pipe, and going down to the ground, it was so painful that then, from the soreness, that then I started to learn about a different part of myself that had to grow up. It's that part of me that said, hey, even though you're sore right now, and even though this hurts, and even though everybody around you said, you don't have to do it, you're gonna do it. And that's where I got 1% better. And so then these fluctuations would happen like that. It'd be a bar, PVC pipe. I'd go up 100 pounds, go down 100 pounds, go up 200 pounds. I mean, your numbers can radically change. but the effort never changes.
I think that's
It's
where
100%.
a lot of people would get stuck. They're working for a while at it. They get better. All of a sudden, they have this huge regression. So it seems, and someone says, I must be doing it wrong. I got to change it up. It's not for me.
That's
But
right.
At that point, that's where you held the faith.
Discipline.
Okay.
Right there. That was the part that I was able to push through, where somebody else would go, oh man, it's not working. You know, this job's not working. Let's try a new job.
Yeah.
You know, let's not like try to fight through this. Let's not try to fight through tough times. We're having a little struggle here. You know, I'm not a very good artist, and now I'm going to go into writing. And then you jump from writing to something else. You have to stay consistent, and you have to keep working on it every single day, even if your numbers are moving like this. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the numbers. The numbers will take care of themselves. That's the amazing thing. It's the effort and the attitude. And if you have the right intention, you will only get better. You will only improve. I mean, how long are you guys going to train jiu-jitsu?
Long time.
A long time.
Till you die, probably? Forever? Yeah, so the time element doesn't matter,
For sure.
Yeah.
right? That's the same with the 1% improvement movement. Becoming 1% better. There's no time element here. It's just how much better can we improve as human beings in any given thing every single day.
One more question I have for you is that, I mean, that's just so incredible. Kind of the science of the method. There's some pretty famous strong guys that have come here that look like that if you were to take bets, every single person would bet on that person to be able to squat more than you can, but you squat more than they can. What is the science that allows you at about 175 pounds to out squat really jacked 250 pounders?
Now, this is huge, but inside of the American culture and worldwide culture, we've gotten into hypertrophy training. Hypertrophy training is when you cause the muscle to expand and grow. And it looks great. If you go to Mr. Olympia, those guys are just freaking jacked, you know, up on that stage. Their muscles are just incredible. But it doesn't necessarily mean their muscle got stronger. So what ends up happening is by doing 1, 2, or 3 reps, I'm causing my muscle to fire all at one time. I don't do it slow. It has to happen all at once, like flicking on a light. It all comes on at once. And when your neurological system sends that brain impulse down into your muscle fibers, it should be like an explosion, not like click on this light, click on that light, click on this light. That's when it looks janky. That's when you're like moving weird. When you can explode all at one time, that's when weight moves quickly, and that's when you're powerful. And that's when you get really, really, really strong because you're training your neurological system to fire all my muscles at once, where maybe somebody else, they're only using their quads. They don't know how to use their adductors. They don't know how to use their glutes at the exact same time. This training method teaches you how to do that, and it teaches you how to get into your neurological system and build it out. They've done studies on it, and in these other countries, these Eastern Bloc countries who have done this, back in the 80s and 70s, they were looking at how the myelin sheath that surrounds your axon, it would actually grow. And when that grows, more impulse can be sent through the axon, causing more stimulus into the muscle. Well, that's huge. That's power. So I do understand what's going on inside of all culture out there. Everybody wants to look good. You go to the beach, I want to look good.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be attractive. You want to look the part. But this type of lifting, this isn't going to make you that big, huge guy. You don't have to be on steroids. You don't have to take all the crazy supplements. You literally can just focus on improving what's naturally inside of you. And I'll tell you, all of us have some pretty amazing natural attributes. When we start to lock into those muscle fibers and we start to lock into that neurological system, a guy like me at 175 pounds can start lifting like 485 pounds. And it's because I'm doing it all at once. Sets of 8 will send you into a growth phase. Sets of 1, 2, and 3, that'll keep you in that getting strong phase. And if you focus on speed, now you're focusing on power. And if you're focusing on power, you're going to get really, really strong.
Yeah. And guys, Rick has worked with a ton of like very famous MMA fighters. So can you mention some names, Rick?
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I got to work with Greg Jackson's team down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, guys. I was on Tough 17 with John Jones. I worked with Misha Tate. Ronda Rousey, she's endorsing my book. Can you believe that? How awesome. Travis Brown, Carlos Condit, Frank Mir. I mean, the list goes on and on of all the guys I was lucky enough to work with. I had a phenomenal coaching career helping these guys get to world championships and the next level.
And guys, I think especially for grapplers, the main thing you gotta work is like legs and lower back, right? So I think the squats is probably the best exercise you can do for.
Definitely, because it's pressure on your entire body. And what they've proven is when you have all that stimulus going on your entire body, your body will naturally start to release more human growth hormone naturally. So you don't got to take something. It'll release it, but you got to put in some work. It's got to think maybe you fought a lion or something. Yep. Then it will also release more testosterone while you're lifting. So by doing squats, the amount of pressure that's going on your body, it's strengthening every single part of you, every part of you. And you're getting added benefits inside of those. Added benefits that only make you stronger, make your tendons stronger, make your muscles stronger, make you look younger.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, Rick, and for example, for those who want to do, like what kind of what you did the challenge, can they do that, but not with squat, with another type of exercise?
You definitely could do any type of exercise. I mean, if you want to do pull-ups, you did pull-ups. And I mean, 44 years old can do 17 pull-ups. It's unbelievable. How many could you do when you started?
I couldn't even do one, and I was using assistants with the bands. And all of a sudden, then I could do one. Then I could do 3. Then I could do 1.
Is it what?
Then I could do 4, and then the 8. Then 8 becomes 11.
Yeah, it's a graphic that goes like this, right? But
that's right.
It's growing, right?
Yes, it never stops, right? It's like a stock.
Yeah.
It's like a stock. But if it goes down a little bit and you just pull out, you only get what you got there. I mean, 17 pull-ups at 44, that's an example.
Yeah.
But what will create a good symmetrical body for anybody is a squat, because we're made to stand upright.
Got it.
And so if we can strengthen the muscles that help us stand up straight, that's good for the human body. That helps us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So crunches, it makes us crunch, just doing a pull-up, I mean, it may not work your legs. It may not work your rhomboids. So I believe as a platform, now that I've really been around the world and trained with just incredible individuals, the squat is an incredible platform. If you add that into your life, it will pay dividends in your health for the rest of your life.
One thing I want to touch on here quick, I know, and you do this a little different for NC, is your dietary principles. You're not loading up like crazy on protein and that kind of stuff.
That's right, I'm not. I focus a lot on micronutrients. So there's 2 types of nutrients that we're looking at. Macros, which are the big ones, which are your proteins and your fats and your carbs. Well, most people are like, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cut out all my carbs and then starve myself, and then I'll get skinny because one of the 3 will be gone, or vice versa. But what they don't realize is that there's all these micronutrients that are taking care of you all the time. They're the vessels. They're so crucial to every part of your health. They're what carry the protein down to your quad to heal it. They're what bind things together. They're what pull the inflammation out of your muscles and put it in the lymph so that you can get it out of your system. So I spend a lot of time focusing more on micronutrients. I eat a very, very normal diet. I mean, as far as juices and things of that nature, I drink a lot of juices and I drink a lot I take in a lot of micronutrients. But my focus is not, I'm going to just smash protein all day long with nothing to carry it to any part of my muscles. You got to think of it like those micronutrients are like buses, right? And those proteins and those fats and those carbs, those are like people. So you just dump that protein into you, and then there's no buses to take it where it's got to go. You don't improve. And even if you do grow, you may not be healthy. It may not be strong bonds. So nutrient-wise, juices, study up on micronutrients. Follow me on Instagram. I post a daily nutritional value every single day on my story. Something to help you get 1% better, you know, and they're simple, like how an apple, it hydrates you on the cellular level.
Good.
Water, it has to go through your whole system, has to work its way through, but an apple, the way that it's put together, it'll go right into your body. So it's great little tips, really easy things that you can follow. But if you really want to improve your health, you got to look up micronutrients.
Cool. And Rick, how many times per day you eat?
You know, I graze all day. It's not a specific order. It's not a specific time that I lift. None of those things are the factor. You know, I have to work. I have family obligations. I have things going on. So, you know, I eat 3 meals a day, but my lift could happen at 11 p.m. on Friday night, like it did last Friday night.
Got it.
Or it could happen at 6 a.m. before I go to work. It doesn't really matter as long as I get it done.
I got it.
You know, you gotta set yourself up for success and find that time period, and you gotta put a marker on your life and say, I'm doing it. No matter what happens, no matter how it goes, no matter who's mad at me or who's upset or what's gonna happen, I made a commitment, and I'm gonna stand by my commitment.
Oh, Rick, and you can use this movement even if it's not for lifting, right? For example, you can say,
yes.
Oh, I'm gonna learn a new language and I'm gonna get 1% better every day. I'm gonna try to learn a new word every day. So
yes. The capabilities are endless. You can do anything you want to do. And this squatting, what has happened for me, it's been incredible. In just a few years, I have been able to explode. My goal was to squat 500 pounds in 500 days. I mean, I thought that was pretty outrageous, right? And you got to think, I was going through a divorce and my brother had just died. And I mean, it was a wild time in my life. And then to be like, I'm going to squat 500 pounds in 500 days. I surpassed that number by over 100 pounds. By over 100 pounds in that 500-day period. But my numbers were skewing like this the whole time. The average Olympic gold medalist, okay, they have trained for 4 years, 6 hours a day. My point is that you can do anything at any time in your life. It doesn't matter when it is. You want to start something? Today is a great day to get 1% better at that. It doesn't have to be this lifting. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
It could be anything.
Yeah. Michael told me a quote also that I never forgot. People overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So there's a lot about it as well, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, 10 years, that's 3,650% better.
Exactly.
Well, that's good.
Man, that's awesome stuff. Any other question, Michael?
Were there some other points you want to touch on, like some things that?
It's not going to be perfect. You've heard there's no perfect time to do a great thing. You know, there's the days you're just not going to feel right. There's days it's just not going to go right. But you got to stay consistent. And if you stay consistent, you can be just like us up here. You can be 3 black belts going after their dreams and doing whatever you really want to do in this life. And I mean, we put this together. I've been lifting. I wanted to do this lift. I'm lifting in my garage. You can do it. You know, you find a way. Start with what you have, and find a way.
I will say this is one of the coolest settings we've ever been in. I mean, I don't know if someone wants to pan the camera around. You can see like this is literally his garage, and it's sort of just it's about.
It is a garage.
It's a garage,
Yeah,
and
it's awesome.
but look at what he did with it. It's amazing, and this is what you went from being a pretty average squatter to holding the Nevada state record in about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Doing what everyone says is stupid to do.
Yeah. Yeah. You and at the time I was not in a great place. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do anything. And I just gotta say, guys, I'm honored to have you guys here. I know you guys work with so many people, and you there's so much knowledge out there, and there's so many places you could be spending your energy and time. Thank you so much for coming here, working with my team, working with myself. I'm honored to be a part of your
It's been
team.
one of the coolest experiences for me too, because it's different. You know, we shoot most of the time we shoot jiu-jitsu instructional videos, and this was different. I mean, seeing you lifting like 400 pounds was
485.
it was crazy.
It's so wild to me, guys, that I went from the spot where I've trained jiu-jitsu now 26 years.
Yep.
I started when I was 6 years old with Pedro Sauer. Then I wrestled with the greatest wrestlers ever. They run Penn State now. If you know anything about wrestling, Cale Sanderson, Cody Sanderson, Casey Cunningham. I mean, we're talking the greatest wrestlers. And then I end up, my first book, we do 1% better every day on lifting.
Yeah. So,
And then I'm doing it with like the greatest jiu-jitsu site, period. It's weird how this world works, but it goes the right way.
thanks so much.
We're
Rick.
super
Appreciate
excited.
it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.